Live from downtown State College.
Welcome into the Landon Tangwall live call-in show. We're going to do these every single Monday night at 8 p.m. Let you guys call in, air out your grievances. Sponsored by Anti-Fragile Brewing Company, downtown on Calder Way. Best beer around. Got the beer right here, Anti-Fragile. You see the logo. Producer John, let's get the keg cam. Can we get a look at that puppy? There she is. Hello. We've been Miss Keg a couple times this weekend, I'll tell you what. But it's been a long one. Welcome in, guys. It is 8 p.m., yes. Craig, what is up? He said Amari Campbell, better than what I thought. What do you say? Dude, I totally agree. Amari Campbell was honestly, outside of Denai Dennis-Sutton, probably my favorite player from defense from that Nevada game. He strikes. Like, he looks so confident when he's out there. I really enjoyed watching him play football. I think he's going to be a fan favorite. I said that. I think he's really talented, and he is going to be the heart and soul calling that defense. So I'm excited to see him. Chris said Landon's been busy. Yes, I have. I'll tell you what, long couple of days. This is my third show of today where I am contractually obligated to drink beer. So, you know, what a life. Don't become a podcaster, or do if you like to drink a lot of beer, you know, whatever you feel. So shout out the obligatory pregame show over on the For the Bloggy YouTube channel. Was over there earlier. And then I was out at the Penn State golf course with big Keith Goon Conlon doing the Blue-White Players show. We had Nick Dawkins on, and that was fun. That was a good time. I think I put down like 3 hot dogs, cooled it on the beer a little bit because I knew I was going to get to come back and enjoy some Anti-Fragile beer. Yep.
How is it?
Tasty, John. Tasty. Right out of that fresh kegerator.
You might see some fingers sneaking from the bottom of your screen here, grabbing that beer in a second.
Come steal some. We'll pour you up some. I'll tell you what, that JP 409 whiskey, that hit hard, guys. I'll tell you what, if you were here in the live postgame show, John made a comment afterwards. It was crazy how that hit. Terrence Walker, thoughts on King Mack to wide receiver? Oh, we need a deep threat to take the top off the D. Terrence Walker's thinking a little Deion Butler action from DB to wide receiver. Look, I don't think that'll happen necessarily. But look, clearly shows the ability to be a very good athlete on special teams. So he got to break down the team at the end. He was one of the MVPs of the game. I think as King Mack continues this role, he could find his way back onto the defense as well. You're looking for a deep threat. That's going to be Devontae Ross. Outside of that, maybe Kobe Howard is also a quick guy that can stretch the field. But we need one of those guys to kind of step up and take over that role you're right, to stretch the field, because we don't really have that. Trevor Pena is a great route runner. He understands how to sit down, all that good stuff. Kyron Hudson's a bigger body wide receiver. If you guys are curious about the transfer wide receivers, actually, Coach Kadudi on the For the Blog YouTube channel doing a film breakdown tomorrow morning that will be out, so you guys can check out how they looked. So appreciate that donation. Thank you so much, Terrence. IV Warrior said, I agree with you, Landon, about the performance versus Nevada. What is your plan against team that load up the box with a 5 D-line set? Look, Coach Franklin brought up the 5 D-line set. It happened a couple times. The majority of the mess-ups by the offensive line, it was just MAs, which is missed assignments. They weren't blocking to the right guy. I had Nick Dawkins on the show, actually, and when we were at the golf course, and he said to me that someone sent him my Twitter film breakdown of me breaking down the offensive line and us messing up combo blocks. So, sorry, Doc. But look, I talked to Doug. He knows, like, they're going to get it right. It's fine. That offensive line is still one of the best in college football. And honestly, look around college football. Offenses as a whole kind of sucked. They were bad week 1. Offensive lines, you want to talk about an offensive line that sucked? Notre Dame was sucking air yesterday. Oh my gosh. They were getting beaten to a pulp by that Miami front 7. So, obviously that was a top 10 matchup. We had Nevada, but look, it could be a lot worse. I think you need time to gel. We also, the fact that there is, not as much really time to gel in the early season and that preseason, because you're taking a lot of reps off the guys. James Frank with Nick Dawkins, I had him talking about it. He was saying, hey, we probably did 3/4 of the reps that I've done in past camps and fall camps because you got to play 16, 17 games. That's the hope. So Franklin needs to take hits off of those guys. And then in turn, that does kind of mess with the chemistry when you are constantly subbing, all that type of stuff. John, producer John, you want to go ahead and throw up the phone number?
Firing this phone up.
Throw up the phone number. We might as well get after it.
814-400-4188. Call now to talk to Landon.
Call now. Eli Grunk had a great performance. I'm sure someone might talk about that. Justin, what is up, brother? You guys go ahead, call in 814-400-4188. Whatever you guys want to ask. It can be anything. It doesn't even have to be football related necessarily. Look, I'd said this is like a dying breed. Like I remember growing up calling in to listen and people call into the local radio show, especially if you're in like the Philadelphia area. Absolutely hilarious. It's a lost art. I'm trying to bring it back for you guys. So call in with any questions that you have. But Eli, to answer your question about Grunk, Coach Franklin said this too. Incredibly decisive, looks sharp. I will tell you too that Franklin said this, and I thought the same thing, having seen Grunk in practice sometimes. Franklin said that Grunk looked better out there in the game than he did in practice, which, hey, we got ourselves a little bit of a gamer at quarterback too. I'm all right. That's all right. Kyle said, this spring we talked about, what are your early conclusions about the D-line? Yeah, look, at the end of the day, the D-line is really young. Deni Dennis Sutton, we saw what we wanted to see from him to be that elite next guy. He's going to be a showstopper. Oh,
you ready?
Let's do it.
Area code 717. You're on the air.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, how you doing? Name and where are you from?
Name is Kyle. I'm from Elizabethtown, Pennsylvania.
Yes, sir. PA repping. What's up, Kyle? How you doing? What's your question, brother?
So it's not directly game related, but I was just seeing if you have any insight on what went down between Penn State and Jawn Cider. See if there was anything more than what it appeared.
Yeah, real quick. Sorry. Thank you. $20 donation from Heverly. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate the support. Look, Coach Cider is he actually is a good friend of mine. We still talk to this day. Obviously, not going to talk on everything. Don't think that it necessarily ended on the best terms. That's about the length I'll go to that. Like I said, always trying to keep relationships over here. But, I mean, look, at the end of the day, Cider, there was the fact that he kind of just wanted to move on. He's been here since 2018. His daughter, a lot of people don't think about the real life things. His last daughter finally graduated high school. So it was like, hey, there's that time to finally be able to move on, go find another job. Was able to make a lot more money than he was making here as well. So that's the extent I'll go to on that one. But yeah, I don't know if there's any love lost there. But I appreciate you. No doubt. Appreciate you calling in, Kyle.
Thanks.
All right. Yes, sir. Thank you for that donation, Heverly. Appreciate you, man. Let's see.
Perhaps it's worth mentioning that the calls are anonymous. I was thinking about what you said back in the day with the radio and how fun. Now everyone's worried about.
Oh, yeah. No, everybody's worried about being recorded.
Maybe. The calls are anonymous.
They're anonymous. Yeah, don't feel bad, guys. I remember I was talking with Doc about this, too, is that we're talking about, like, Drew Aller. Like, imagine not being able to go out anywhere. Because right now, like, I've seen it. Like, I was out with Drew, and Doc was like, yeah, we all try to go out to breakfast, and we want to invite Drew. And then it's like, oh, yeah, like, you can't come. Like, you can't come out with us. It's just so crazy to think that, like, that was what was so great about being an offensive lineman was just you can go out, and some people recognize you, but, it's not a big deal. Dave Crawford, Landon, your show is the best. Appreciate you, Dave. Thank you so much, man. Really appreciate all the support. You guys are seriously awesome. It has been going great.
You ready?
You can just bring them on, producer Jan.
570 area code. You're on the air.
Hi. My name is Casimir.
What's up? How you doing? What is your question, my man?
Oh, what's up, Landon? Big fan of yours, man. So I was going to ask you, what did you think of the defensive line depth this weekend? I actually kind of thought they actually did a great job of at least showing some explosiveness, a lot more than I've seen in past years. Do you think that can hold up, or do you think that's kind of just more playing Nevada?
Yeah, I think great observation, honestly. I mean, we saw what we had from Deni. Jalen Harvey started across from Deni, looked explosive. You saw the inexperience of that D-line, of those young depth pieces. They all looked talented. They all looked athletic, but they were just kind of like wildly out of control at times. There was times Jalen Harvey did not set the edge well. Setting the edge is your job to kind of box all that stuff back in and force that run to go back inside. So Jalen Harvey kind of struggled there. Everybody was really excited to see Chaz Coleman. And some people felt, kind of let down. I think they were expecting like a 2-sack performance for Chaz Coleman right away. I think that was a little bit too much as far as expectations for him, but he looked great. I mean, he was disruptive multiple times. He was getting in the backfield in the run game. He had almost very close to his first sack. Actually, 2 different times he was very close to that first sack. So for a large group of these kids are 18 years old. They just got on campus 4 months ago, and they are playing in their first ever college football game. And like I said, I'll tell you, when I would play in my first game, I almost blacked out when I first went out there. I wanted to puke beforehand. So you go out there, and James Franklin said that. He said, look, I was walking off the field with Chaz Coleman, and Chaz walked with me, and he said, hey, Coach, I'm real glad that I got that over with. I was really nervous, and now I can put that behind me, and I'm just ready to play ball. And Franklin shared that. I think Chaz Coleman's going to be a superstar. So overall, at defensive end, I think we're in a very good place, and that's why I'm a fan of these first 3 easy games, because it allows you to have these young guys that need reps. We got a very veteran
and develop more. Yeah,
absolutely. We got to develop these young guys and get them reps. 16, 17 game season is what we are going for, my man. So look good. One note there is Zariah Fisher was almost about to play. James Franklin said they decided to pull him back and say, hey, not yet. You look good. You need to practice a little bit more. So seems like we could have Zariah Fisher back this week or next. So we're going to get that veteran leadership back on the other side of defensive end. Is going to be great. So appreciate you calling in, my man. Appreciate the support.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you, brother. Cool.
Phone is open.
Phone lines are open. Call in. Rob said I'm old enough to remember Paterno's weekly call-in show and listening to the games when they weren't on television. Oh, Rob. That's a minute ago, huh? That must have been a heck of a time when you couldn't just find everything, like just online. Streaming wasn't a thing. Obviously, streaming's new. I know that. Can't imagine. One grievance that I need to air is like I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, John, and I get to watch all Steelers games in market. I was living in Baltimore, Maryland, basically growing up. I mean, Ravens, and I'm a Steelers fan. I get to watch a whole lot of Steelers, man. It was real.
Did you rep the colors down there at least? Did you put on the black and yellow and go start some fights?
Big time. I was 11 years old at the Steelers Ravens game after we lost the Super Bowl, and I was crying. Ravens beat up on us, and I'd have people making fun of me. Hey man,
is this where the fire came from?
Yeah, Ravens fans brought it right out of me. Tell you what. Jake Zibbler said, how would you compare Drew Aller's performance compared to other quarterbacks across week 1? Oh, pretty good. We got a caller. We got a caller.
717, you're on the air.
Hi, yes, I had a question from the York area for Landon. Just curious what his thoughts are for the next duo for the defensive end line, because we had Micah and Abdul 2 years ago, Isaiah and oh my gosh, Chop on the other.
Yep.
The other end.
Yeah, we had some great defensive end duos there. I'll tell you what. So I think that's the biggest thing. We got denied Dennis Sutton, and now you need that guy across him. I think Zariah Fisher could be that guy coming up. So Chaz Coleman's also going to elevate here. So excited about that. We just talked about that a little bit, but I think we got some good guys in there. I appreciate you giving me a ring, my man.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Terry Smith. Yes, sir. Shout out Tank, my guy in the chat.
It's heating up now.
John, maybe when the people are calling in.
916, you're on the air.
Hey, Landon.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, thanks for doing this. Great insight.
No
quick question for you on how you go from missed assignments and then going into the film room on Sunday, what the coaches do, what the players are doing, and then how it's implemented back in practice. Kind of walk us through that process.
Yeah, it's a great question, man. I appreciate you calling in. So you come in right away, and the tape, depending on when the game ends, you're kind of expected to at least watch some of it before you come in Sunday morning. If it's a night game, maybe not so much. But you come in, you start out one team, you come into team meeting, James Franklin kind of goes down everything. He does a big thing where he shows other teams that got upset, says, hey, it's hard to go 1-0. You do the whole shebang there. So then you go to meetings, and offense will go to meetings, defense goes to lift. So you lift, you do a lot of mobility, flexibility stuff, and then they swap. So you do about an hour and a half lift, hour and a half in the film room, and then they swap, and then you go out to practice. And while you're going through that film, I'll tell you what, if you messed up, and it was towards the end of the game, you're praying that you get out of that film room before they get to the play where you messed up. It's a fight in there sometimes, especially I think that offensive line film room, as much as I know those boys are going to bounce back, don't think it was a super happy one in there on Sunday for them. But you go outside then, and this is where you implement. You see the mistakes that you made, and you go outside on the field, and it's just a walkthrough, and you go through every MA, every missed assignment play that you did. You walk through how to correct that mistake on the field. Can't believe I've actually never talked about this. This is great. Thank you so much for this question. So the coaches make sure not only that you know you messed up and how to fix it, they make you physically walk through and feel it and see, and then you run it corrected. So I think that's a really good piece of how the coaches fix all of that. And like I said, I expect a lot of those MAs to be cut down. It is week 1. Like I said, college football across the board was incredibly chaotic this week. Offenses were not doing a great job. A lot of low-scoring games. I'm not super worried about where this Penn State offense is. I think we saw the number one thing we wanted to see was the wide receivers getting involved. So, overall, yes, there was that process of making sure they corrected everything. And then I'll tell you what, there's the D-squad scrimmage. So if you don't play on Saturday's game, you go out there, and while everybody else is just putting on a jersey and they got tying their shoes up, you are a young freshman suiting up big time, dude. And it is the worst feeling in the world to go out there and be in the D-squad scrimmage, and the players, the starters just get to watch you and kind of cheer you on. It's like, it's a ritual. Everybody has to do it unless you come in and you're like a straight up superstar. Chaz Coleman will probably never see a D-squad scrimmage a day in his life. But that's kind of how the Sunday rundown goes. And then you get to go home and actually hang out and chill for a little bit because Monday is the day off. Appreciate you calling in.
Awesome. Thanks.
Yes, sir. Heavily. Oh, my gosh. Thank you so much. $30. I really appreciate your support, man. Absolutely killing it.
I read your mind, right?
You did.
You ready for another one?
Absolutely. Terry Smith. Tank, I know.
989, you are on the air.
Hey, Landon, what's up, dude? It's Joe from Michigan.
What's up, Joe? How you doing?
Oh, not too bad. Hey, I was at the game Saturday. I just want to know your opinion on the two backup backs that we have, Wallace and Smith there.
Yeah, appreciate you calling in and asking. Number one, we saw Cam Wallace coming off a huge, major double leg injury against Kent State, had him out for the season, and first really look that we got at him, he's hurdling someone like Saquon Barkley, looking a little bit like that other 2-6, and that says a lot to me. I'll tell you what, coming off of an injury, like when I came back from my shoulder, it was difficult because you doubt yourself. You have that doubt of like, can I get back to the strength that I was at? Am I going to trust my body to do the same things it did before? Cam Wallace looks like he had no problems. I think there's still going to be a competition, and I will tell you all three running back 3 candidates were injured on and off throughout camp. So it's still up in the air. I think it's Cam Wallace's job, honestly. He looked really impressive out there. And then Corey Smith, looked good too. They had the same amount of carries. I think Corey Smith is the most elusive out of all of them, including any of the running backs in that room. So he's got the ability to get out there. Excuse me. A lot of beer, guys. I talked about it. It's been too much beer today. Quentin Martin. As far as Quentin Martin, he was banged up. Coach Franklin talked about him today. We did not see him in Saturday's game. That's because he missed about 2 weeks with a soft tissue injury during camp. That really hampered him. He just got cleared during the game week of Nevada. They said, hey, let's hold you out. Anytime you're dealing with something that you kind of nick up, if it's soft tissue, you want to be careful. Let yourself get back. So I think we will see Quentin Martin as well this coming week and see him involved, kickoff and elsewhere and getting some good carries. So, yeah. I appreciate you calling in, but I think it'll, like I said, it's going to be a competition throughout the whole season. And there is that idea that running back 3 is going to get so many more looks because last year running back 3 was barely a thing because Tyler Warren and Bo Prabula had about 60 carries total together. All those 60 carries go to running back 3 now. So something to look out for. I appreciate you calling in. John, can you put up? Thank you so much. Blue Man, thank you so much for the donation, $5. I appreciate you. Was it just me or did Cam Wallace look like Saquads? What's the trust level of the RB depth room? Yeah, really good. Really, really good. I feel good about it. I think Cam Wallace is going to be a really good running back here. Got hampered because of that major injury. Fought his butt back to get back on the field. And, fought his butt off to get back on the field. Yes, John. Let's go.
I'm warning you with the audio. 203, you are on the air.
Hi, Landon. How's it going?
How you doing? Appreciate you calling, man.
Good. Just wanted to ask you, kind of like where you think your media career is going to go. I was talking to my dad. We watch all your videos. Are you going to become like a play-by-play guy? I was saying you could be on the Big Ten Network like next year. Just kind of wondering what you're going to be doing because I feel like we're going to lose you as a Penn State guy here. You're just destined for greatness.
I really appreciate it, man. That means a lot. I appreciate you and your dad always tuning in. You guys are the best fans ever. If you want to be honest, where I want to go in the future, I really don't like doing the play-by-play. I like to do like podcasts, sit down, be on different shows. My goal, I think in the long run, is to try to be the face of the Big Ten eventually, media-wise. I don't think there is one. I think the Big Ten Network has really struggled in the past, something that would allow me to still heavily be involved with Penn State and covering Penn State. But there's everybody's SEC. Paul Feinbaum, Josh Pate is now on ESPN all the time. Everybody's SEC. We need some good Big Ten coverage. That is heavily lacking. So I will forever be around my Twitter, my YouTube. We're always going to be doing Penn State stuff. But definitely that's the next evolution. I think there is a space there, and that is my kind of long-term goal as we move on. But like I said, I will never forget where we started at. I'm always going to be Penn State till I die, man.
Love it. Okay, well, that's good to hear. So I won't be telling my dad again to be on play-by-play then. So I'll be looking forward to the podcast and stuff.
Absolutely, man.
Sure.
Appreciate you calling in, brother.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Big Ten's classier Pat McAfee, Kyle says. You can call us classy. Like I said, we're just constantly drinking beer, but, you know, hey.
717, you are on the air.
Yeah, hi, Landon. I was just wondering if Sarah is ready to cut any slack for the wide receivers yet, or if she still needs to see more work.
I should have brought Sarah, and Sarah's not here right now. I think she was impressed. We were in here. It looked good. She's a fan of Kyron Hudson, of Trevor Pena. She said Jury's still out on Ross, so we got to see there. But being obviously the daughter of Kenny Jackson, and then also, I think a lot of people, Kenny Jackson was the wide receiver coach for Bobby Ingram, who won the Biletnikoff here and was the best wide receiver ever here. So, you know, she knows a little bit about those wide receivers. I think we'll have her on FIU pregame show. We're going to give her a mic. I think, Producer John, we're going to set up a Sarah Cam. I think, is that in the future?
We'll definitely get that set up.
All right, we're going Sarah Cam next week, guys. So I'm going to have her ready. I'm going to have her give a statement on the wide receivers for you. That's going to be for you.
All right, thank you.
All right, appreciate you calling in, brother. Coach Tangwall, Chris says, absolutely the heck not. Guys, I'll tell you, like, coaches actually college coaches live the worst life ever. It is such a trash life. Like, and some people love it, but like, you barely get to see your family. You never get to chill. You go on the road, you're recruiting 13-year-old kids, 14-year-old kids out when the season ends. It's never end travel. Not for me. I like this. It's a grind here, but I love this.
814, you're on the air.
How's it going?
Hi, how you doing?
Good. Can you guess who it is? I'm home making your dinner. I heard somebody asked a question of me.
Hello, Miss Sarah. Honestly, it sounds a little muffled through the mic. I didn't even recognize your voice at first, which is probably bad. Now I'm going to get in trouble for saying that. What's for dinner? I don't even know.
Well, so to answer the question of the caller about what I think of the wide receivers, it's still too soon to tell. I was happy with what I saw. However, I wish they would have stretched the field more because it's Nevada. Who cares? But, that's my take. I'm not saying any more until probably, I don't know. I think FIU
post game.
Still a no.
Oh, shoot. Okay, so you need to wait till Oregon? Jury's out to Oregon?
I need to wait till Oregon because this may as well be preseason, excuse me. So that's where I'm at. So viewers, stay tuned.
I appreciate it. Wait, what's for dinner again? I didn't get that answer.
Pasta alla norma for the Goombas in the chat.
There we go. Thank you so much, babe. Appreciate you. We're gonna get a mic on you. Appreciate you. Love you. See you soon. Terry Smith, my man Tank, is in the chat. Tank said, I'm in the office watching you break down film as we speak. Appreciate you. Ma! The meatloaf.
610, you're on the air.
Hey, what's up, Landon? Hey, this is Nick, man. We met on Saturday when I was walking to the game on Calder, dude. Hey, love the show. Big fan.
Appreciate you, man.
I just wanted to ask, I know this has kind of been a big topic of conversation for us Penn State fans, but after this game, what is your take on the linebacker room at the moment as a whole?
Yeah, look, Tony Rojas looks like he had 2 TFLs, looks like he's where he should be coming off of that shoulder injury all last year. He got surgery in the spring, looked like he was flying around, looked athletic. And there's always that limitation of what you can see versus Nevada, versus FIU, versus Villanova, of understanding of really where we are at. But looked as good as it could look. I mean, really looked explosive. And then, as I said, Amari Campbell, he is going to be a fan favorite. I outside of Denai Dennis Sutton, Amari Campbell, in my opinion, had one of the best performances of that defense on Saturday. My favorite part about him, not only a great tackler, he showcased that. I said that when he got there, he is already the best tackler in the room. But the other piece of it is that he likes to strike offensive linemen. Us offensive linemen, we don't like when you come up and hit us in the chin. He wants to come up, address the offensive lineman, get up under their chin, bow, and then go make the tackle. There was a couple times he did that. I'll have a quick film breakdown out tomorrow, and he's a little piece of it. So you'll get to see that on film. I'll show you guys that. So appreciate you calling in, brother. And I will say,
thank you very much.
No doubt. Appreciate you. The other guys, Dom DeLuca, Keon Wiley, I think can take that next step. Guys, depth pieces look, fairly good. So, like I said, we will see more as the season goes on. Charles, pop that back up, producer John.
Yep.
He said, random question. By the way, thank you for the $10. Really appreciate the support, brother. I thought Tony Ross got surgery on his shoulder. Why does he still wear that shoulder brace? Yeah, so even when I came back from my shoulder injury, you wear that brace basically for the entire next season, that next, not year, but that next 6 months after you get injured and you get that healed. You still want to put it on as a precautionary so it's safe. So sometimes, like I said, I've told you guys, if you see the shoulder brace, that means something is messed up. Sometimes that means that something was messed up, it was fixed, and now it's better. So it is just precautionary. And so hopefully Tony Ross, maybe he'll come back. Who knows what type of year he has. But he won't wear that in the spring, and he won't wear that next year.
484, you're on the air.
Sometimes, like I said, I told you guys, if you see the shoulder brace, that means
Hi, it's Tori.
What's up,
Just
Tori?
want to ask a question about to Landon.
Yes, sir. What you got, Tori? Appreciate you calling him.
Hi. Just seeing, does he think Arch Manning is actually the Drew Aller we've been warned about?
Look, I watched some of the Arch Manning tape. It was the mechanics that were completely off. I mean, throwing sidearms when he didn't need to throw sidearms, just inaccurate as a whole. I think that, the moment was a little too big for him. Someone that has had all the training in the entire world and gets to Ohio State, and maybe it was too much. Maybe it was too much that we're touting him as the first overall pick before he really played a lot. I think that was an issue. And as much as he's been in the Manning family, he's got the name behind him. I saw ESPN did a halftime segment last night of the Notre Dame-Miami game. Basically, it was Dan Orlowski and Booger McFarland just trying to create excuses for why Arch played the way he played. No, he played bad. He played badly. He had awful mechanics. He missed his wide receivers when he should have been hitting them in stride. Not even just in stride, when they were wide open. He was putting in the dirt. So I think it'll get better as they go. I'm curious. Let's see who has Texas next. Texas has... They get San Jose State University, they get UTEP, they get Sam Houston, and then they have a date with Florida on October 4th. So Arch has 3 games to kind of get this thing together. I think he's still going to be a great quarterback, but we saw what happens when you put elite expectations on someone that has really yet to prove themselves up to this point.
How many more cracks do you think Feinbaum gives him before he hops off the train?
Wait, you said how many? What does Feinbaum give?
How many more cracks do you think he gives Arch before he hops off the train?
Oh, he's going to ride that thing till the wheels fall off. SEC and a Manning brother. Good luck. Good luck. Appreciate you calling in.
Yeah, man.
No doubt.
Have a good night.
Yeah, sir. I missed the previous donation, but there's my father, Chris Tangwall. Thank you very much. He said, I've heard you talk. Oh, dang. Shout out to Terry Smith, and thanks for all you do, Kyle.
You
Terry
had
Smith's
a
great guy.
you had a one from Rob 440. So
Rob,
thank you, Rob.
thank you so
440, but
much.
there was no comment. Let me pull you up.
Thank you so much for that $10.
Pull your dad back up here.
Yes. Papa Tangwall, there he is. Hold on. We're getting there. That's going to do good. I don't know, Dad. Where am I going to spend this $50 at? I heard you talk about your father every once in a while. He seems like a great father. He's the main reason where you are at today. Is that true? Absolutely. No, my dad was great. He was, the main thing I talked about this recently with my dad, about my dad, is that we saw the whole come on spell thing where we got guys decommitting and doing all this crap. Really big in my recruitment. Took me to basically every single visit, paid for a lot of stuff. So throwing in another $50 here. Look at that. Just constantly throwing money. Look at this. And made sure I had my head on straight. Told me you're always being recorded when you go to school. Don't mess up and just be smart. So drilled that into my head. Appreciate the donation, Dad. I don't know where that'll go. Maybe, well, not to Anti-Fragile Beer because we are sponsored by them. Oh, right here. Shout out to Anti-Fragile, sponsor of the show. Cheesesteaks, beer, everything you need. There is the keg cam. Oh my gosh. Like I said, it's been a lot of beer these past couple of days, guys. Holy crap. Yeah, Terry Smith, Tank, former Penn State running back in there. John, you want to throw up the number one more time? Let people continue to trickle in. Tank Smith is nephew of Penn State cornerback coach Terry Smith. Tank, some people's favorite running back ever, they say. Penn State, I don't know. When 38 got in the game, was toting the rock. It was a fun time. It was a fun time. I love blocking for Tank. We had a couple times in there. Remember Rutgers in 2021? That was a good one, man. Eggman says that Aller doesn't like to throw too far down the field. Look, I mean, at the end of the day, I will tell you guys once again, Nevada was playing really, really far back. They wanted to let up everything underneath, and we just took what they gave us. They really did not give us an opportunity to throw the ball deep. So FIU, I'll tell you right now, I started film study on them today. We'll have a film breakdown out on them Wednesday. We'll have that out Wednesday. Oh my God, their defense is horrible. A lot worse than Nevada. I thought they were going to be better. Not good at all. So opportunity to stretch the field there.
6:02, you're on the air.
Hi, Landon, Eric from the All Over the Place podcast. How are you?
What's up, Eric? How you doing, my man?
Doing great, and just very quick, congratulations. Just watching you every week, keeping getting better, brother. Awesome stuff. I love it.
Thank you so much.
But I wanted to get into, because you're a guy, for next generation, you're someone who gets the Penn State history, specifically Joe Paterno, whether it's been through conversations with Spider and all the other alums you've had on the show. As a next generation guy, do you ever see Paterno getting his due with the naming of a stadium?
Yeah, obviously, yeah, that's a big piece of, obviously, like I said, my girlfriend's dad Letterman here. She was around the team. I've met a lot of the Letterman, all that good stuff. So I think we, definitely need to continue to do more to honor Joe Paterno. Did everything for this university, not even just football, but academically. Sue Paterno still heavily involved. For this foreseeable future, I just think money-wise, that's going to be tough, if you want me to be honest with you. I just think that it is a money-driven world. Obviously, West Shore Home is sponsor of the show here for the film breakdowns. And, obviously, like I said, money helps. I mean, at the end of the day, they're giving $50 million. So I think it's hard there. But I think as time goes on, if you want me to be honest, there will be more and more recognition for Joe.
Well, my generation gets it, and I thank you for having your generation continue to get it. So keep it up, man. Keep it up. Love it. And looking forward to every day getting new content from Landon Tangwall.
Absolutely.
Take care, my man.
Thank you so much, brother. Appreciate it. Charles says, if Josh Pate is the white T-shirt commentator of the SEC, are you the black T-shirt commentator of the Big Ten? Look, that wasn't even on purpose. I'll tell you what, that was something I always did. I wear black wife beaters, and then I wear black T-shirts. And I guess we just call it a beater. John's face. That's what they call them. It's called a black beater. Sorry. Black tank top. Maybe after games, if it's like a bad game, I'll show up.
You had a good run. It was a good professional
Now I'm
career.
canceled.
It's over now.
Did it actually?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh. I looked up.
What about the timing on that? That's a little production joke. Nobody else saw what just happened.
we had some trouble over there. No. Let's see. Drew was throwing heat. Yeah, Drew looked good. I'll tell you what. He was on the money. 22 of 26. And really only had one bad pass to Kyron Hudson. Left one a little bit out there for Trevor Pena as well. So I was thoroughly impressed with how they were looking. Let's see. Amari Campbell looked good, but worried about his size and ability to hold up in Mike at the Big Ten. Yeah, he's going to have to be physical at 6 foot. I think like 235. He's going to have to be really physical. He's going to have to keep striking like he was all game long against Nevada. And as we play those bigger offensive linemen, you're absolutely right about that.
I wanted to mention, I forgot to say, so you have Nick Singleton and Catron going for the rushing record. I thought it'd be fun. I hope I hit the right button. There we go. We're going to track your all-time chat leaders for the course of the season.
All-time rushing leaders?
Like rushing yards. They're chat yards.
Oh, we can do this for the whole season?
Yeah, I've got it set up to track over all shows.
All shows. All right. Well, let's see who is going to take the lead. Shout out Terry Smith. 10 messages in the chat. My guy Tank, man. Kyle has the lead right now. Love to see it. Yeah, we do have, down at the student bookstore, we are tracking Nick and Catron, their hunt for the number one on the all-time Penn State rushing list. I'll tell you what.
What are they now? They 10 and 11?
They're still 10 and 11. All Nick needed to pass Lydell Mitchell at number 9.
Oh, they switched, didn't they?
No, they didn't switch, actually. I had you make that graphic, and then I realized they did not switch. Yeah. So Nick, all Nick needed was 22 yards against Nevada to pass Lydell Mitchell, and he had 20 yards. I was almost certain that we were going to get 22 yards against Nevada, but
if he was 6 inches taller, he would have made it.
There you go. Just a little bit more of reaching that ball out. Did you happen to see Lavar Arrington Sr. this weekend at the game? If you know, do you know his teammate back from 2000? I did not see Lavar this weekend. I always see Lavar around. It's good to have him back around, being one of the faces of Penn State. He is awesome dude. And I remember I saw Lavar. I was just starting to work out. My papa would take me to the local YMCA in Maryland. And Lavar, if you look at Lavar Jr., he was born in Annapolis, Maryland. That is where I was from. And I remember seeing him in the gym as a kid, and I was starstruck. I'm like, that's Lavar Arrington. And now I just like chop it up with Lavar all the time. It's pretty cool. Jake says, do you think that Penn State stays at number 2 on the AP poll? Comes out tomorrow after UNC, Bill Belichick and his girlfriend taking on the TCU Horned Frogs. We get a score check of that game real quick. Let's see here. What do we got? Anybody got that? Oh, all right. Looks like it's all tied up at 7. All right. Interesting. Nittany Pete said, talking about becoming the face of the Big Ten, what's your convenience store of choice? Big Wawa guy, if you want me to be honest. Especially being from Maryland. Not as, if Sheets comes with it, we'll see what they come with. I'm a huge Wawa guy. Their subs are way better. I don't even think it's honestly close. If you go to Wawa, it's like a whole deli in Wawa. So did someone say 7-Eleven? No, that's bad, brother. That's not good at all. Yeah, Josh Pate. By the way, so yeah, shout out Josh Pate. He was in Penn State. He was here at Penn State a couple weeks ago. Did not get the link all the way up with him. I offered him up the studio if he needed it, but nonetheless, he did it on Coach Franklin's front porch, basically. So, Nicholas said, Landon, what's your thoughts on Daryus Dixon's debut? I mean, look, at the end of the day, Nevada doesn't really pass the ball deep at all. There was hard to really get it. I mean, A.J. Harris played every single snap of the first, 2.5 quarters. Did you hear A.J. Harris's name at all? Like, no, you don't really hear that much from the cornerbacks. Had a great hit on kickoff coverage, laid him out. I've heard so many great things about Daryus Dixon in practice. I got to watch him in practice, and he was impressive. Does not carry himself like a true freshman. I think it's great that there was a little bit of a question. Who's going to be at cornerback after A.J. Harris leaves? Davian Collins, if he leaves as well. Well, we got something in the future in Daryus Dixon. So hope she Blue Man says, how is Miss Sarah doing? Hope she's doing well. If you missed it earlier, Miss Sarah called into the show. Someone asked about her thoughts on the wide receiver, and she ended up calling in. I found out what I'm having for dinner, something Italian. Pourvoir, something, I don't know. Did you catch that, John?
I don't speak French.
French is, yeah, all right, whatever language it is. I barely passed Spanish. I had to do intensive Spanish. It was like all 3 at once.
See.
Yeah, that's about all I can do too.
No,
that's it.
Why is every language no just the word no? Have you ever noticed that? All the yes words are different.
I don't. Oh, wow, John. Now we're talking. I don't know. We're going to have to figure that out. Or we really are. I'll tell you what. Rudders is better than Wawa and Sheets. Look, I'm a big Rudders guy. Rudders has got it going on. I always stop there in Duncanville, something like that. It's about an hour away from Penn State. It's right next to the Bunny Rabbit. God, I'm forgetting. It's been a long day, guys. Oh, my gosh. But I'm a big Rudders guy. I like that. That's where a lot of people stop off at. Let's see here. You got to give a shout out to Snappy's Cheesesteaks. Listen, I had never had a Snappy's Cheesesteak in my life, man. I really have not. I don't know anything what you're talking about. All I know is Anti-Fragile cheesesteak. They actually sold out. They told me they have never. Anti-Fragile cheesesteak had the best. Yes, they got great beer, and we also have the JP 409 whiskey that we take a shot of after every single win.
I'm gonna myself, producer John, vouch. I had my first Anti-Fragile cheesesteak on Saturday, and I know I have a lot of pull and influence with the internet crowd. So stamp of approval.
Thanks, producer John. You, Anti-Fragile sent down
huge. They're huge.
Oh, yeah, they are big.
Took a little nap.
Yeah, it put John down. That and the JP whiskey, and then also John tapped into the keg. We had to hit up Anti-Fragile. No, this is actually a true story. Anti-Fragile drops off the kegerator, puts a keg in there, and then John is, here and there having himself a little bit of beer after work. And the next thing I know, after a little bit of work, and next thing I know, I'm having to call him before the game starts. I'm like, yo, I need another keg down here. We are dry. And
I don't know how that happened.
They brought it over.
To do with that.
Definitely not.
You ready for another call?
Let's do it. Duncannon. It was Duncannon. Yes, that's it.
814, you're on the air.
Yes. Hey, Landon, the place you're talking about in Duncannon is the Red Rabbit.
They're
only open in the summer.
Yes, only open in the summer, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think maybe the best burgers around. How do you feel about that? It seems like you've had it.
Yeah, I've been by there a few times. Yeah, their milkshakes are to die for.
Milkshakes are great.
You got to hit that place.
Yeah, I appreciate you.
If that's the place you want to stop. So, hey, what did you think of Grunk? Everyone's always impressed with the backup quarterback, but I really liked his release. He was quick getting rid of the ball.
Absolutely. Incredibly decisive, too. Quick release. I've said this. His quarterback trainer, Brad Mendler, who trains Drew Aller and Ethan Grunkmeyer, has said Grunk is one of the most natural passers he's seen in 25 years of training. And now he's looking decisive. He led. We got the ball on our 6-yard line. Ethan Grunkmeyer came in on his first drive, 94-yard drive, got the ball out. We got that. It was, that dump off to Cam Wallace. He had pressure in his face.
Yeah.
He said, hey, let me find my running back in the flat. And then Saquon Barkley hurdle on 3rd and 8.
Oh.
Pressure in his face.
Yeah.
Finds Andrew Rappelier. Andrew Rappelier looked really good coming off an injury last year. Right?
Yeah. It was great to see both those guys because they were, their seasons ended last year with injuries. Cam looked really bad. I was at that. I saw that. It looked terrible, and Andrew never really got on the field after West Virginia, but they both looked outstanding. I was really, really impressed by both of them.
Yep. So I was impressed with Gronk. He capped that off with his first ever career touchdown. So good look for him. Good start. I think he is going to be quarterback too. I don't really think there's a competition there. James Franklin may try to keep it close the way he speaks about it, just to kind of try to keep Jackson Smolik happy, maybe keep him around. But I think this is going to be Ethan Gronkmeyer's job, especially for 2026. So appreciate you calling in, brother.
Thank you.
Let's see here. What do we got going on, guys? Oh, man.
Bedtime, it sounds like.
I'll tell you what. It's been a long one. Like I said, I think this is like my maybe 5th show of the day, but hey, who's counting, guys? We're grinding here.
45 minutes in. It's about 8:45.
8:45. All right. If you guys, why is Medusa up on the screen? That's the Anti-Fragile logo. Once again, shout out to our sponsor, Anti-Fragile. Beer, cheesesteaks, all of it. If anybody has any calls, John, let's go one last throw up of the phone number. If not, I will tell you guys tomorrow. What do we have? Got a little snippet on the Penn State wide receivers that I'm putting out in the morning. And then tomorrow evening, you guys will see quick little 4 downs film breakdown of just a multitude of things. I'm going to show Drew Aller's mobility. Oh my God, he moves so swiftly in the pocket. So we got that. I'm going to show you what Amari Campbell looked like. I want to show you a couple plays from Rappelier. Not only a great catch, he loves to block. Oh my gosh. So we got that, and then forget what else we got. We got a couple more things. So that'll be out, and then we will move on to FIU right after that. So excited for that. My dad sent me $50 for gas, so I guess I have to answer his question. He said, I know this is a Penn State show, but since we all hate Notre Dame, what are your thoughts about Miami versus Notre Dame? Notre Dame got bullied up front on both sides of the ball, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. That was fun to watch. So I was so just rooting against them so hard. And I got a little PTSD. Hard Rock Stadium, 24-24, ends in a field goal. Listen, that was Greg McElroy, ESPN on the call. Didn't like how that felt, but I'm glad that Notre Dame went down. And actually, you want to put that up one more time? I think, Dad, I forget. I think this is my dad's this is my great-grandfather in this photo right there as like a kid. It's so funny if people took portraits back in the day. I just dressed so much nicer.
What iPhone was that taken with?
iPhone 4. All right. Appreciate you guys. Until next time.
You need to get some rest, buddy. You had a heck of a weekend.
It's been a long one. We're going to go home, shower. Miss Sarah made me a great dinner. I don't even know what it is, something Italian or French or something, but it's always good. She went to, that's how you know she's good. She went to cooking school, like over in France for like
did not know
a couple
that.
months. Yeah, she learned how to cook. Yeah, so, an extra reason why. Absolutely. So appreciate you guys tuning in.
That's a keeper right there.
That's a keeper. That's a keeper. She was in here. We got to watch the game with her. She is very vocal when we watch games. I'll tell you what. All right. Appreciate you guys tuning in. And like I said, once again, tomorrow morning, we'll have a little snippet out on you for the wide receivers. We will do this every Monday night at 8 p.m. It'll be lots of fun. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. I had over 850 people on Twitter, a bunch on YouTube. You guys are awesome. Love you guys. See you tomorrow morning. Peace.